Hey guys, welcome back. Yeah, you're asking, what am I doing? Nothing. Me? Just hanging around. Nah, but seriously, I've been getting a lot of comments saying that I'm flexing in my videos because I start off my videos usually like this, and genuinely, honestly, that wasn't my intention. When I first did this as the intro to my video, I kind of did it on accident at first because I was like doing something over here, and then I was like also recording multiple takes because I usually record like 1 or 2, maybe 3 before I can like snap into that Zhoniin mode and then just, record the rest of the video. And I was like, oh, that kind of looks cool, like a little organic analog transition or something. However, the way that you guys are, you see my tricep and you're like, oh, he's only doing that because he's flexing. And it's like, I totally get it. I mean, also, if I had a normal body composition, the way that the other, I guess, anime YouTubers or just YouTubers in general that you guys probably watch, and I did that, you wouldn't think anything of it. You would just think, oh, that's just a little quirky thing he's doing. But because I'm built like Prime All Might, I'm gonna get ribbed for it. Hey, that's fine. I'm not taking any offense to it. We rib each other. I rib you guys. You rib me. We're just having fun. But I mainly just did this to poke fun at it. But I guess you're just gonna say I'm flexing anyway. But I'm not gonna wear the stringer in any other videos. Maybe I'll just wear sweaters or something, and then you guys will find something else to say that I'm flexing about. And yes, I am a big fan of bodybuilding, both the sport and the hobby. Some of you have probably seen me in the comments section of bodybuilding YouTube videos or Instagram videos. By the way, follow me on Instagram, link is in the description. But anyway, I'm not clickbaiting you guys. We are gonna talk about One Punch Man Season 3 and the hate that it's been getting because, wow, I did not expect this. I mean, I expected it to not be well received, but it's become a full-blown meme at this point. So let's first address the main points of criticism. So unfortunately, the first 2 episodes of the season are very dialogue heavy and expository, and that's just kind of how the story plays out in the manga itself. They're literally just adapting the source material. And the people in charge of season 3, we're gonna talk about them a little bit more in this video, of course, probably should have anticipated that the casual One Punch Man audience, which of course is the majority of it, probably isn't gonna receive that too well because they're not really watching One Punch Man for the deep story, I guess you could say. They're just mainly watching it for Saitama one-punching people and then cool fight scenes with the S-class heroes and the monsters, right? So when you have an entire first episode dedicated to just yapping and exposition and lore stuff, they're not really going to be that interested regardless. Even if it looks like Demon Slayer, they're probably still not going to be that entertained. Now, speaking of it not looking like Demon Slayer, I mean, we should have just assumed that that wasn't going to happen. I mean, I know that One Punch Man has its fandom because of season 1 and how incredible it was. And unfortunately, it won't ever probably reach those heights again unless the studios start to really care, which they don't really anymore. I don't even want to say the studios. Maybe it's more so the parent company that's in control of One Punch Man, and I'll try to talk more about that. But the animation, or lack thereof, is very apparent. There's a lot of still images. There's just a lot of talking and hardly any movement. And it's I'm not going to defend that. It is what it is. There's nothing I can really do about that. I wish it was better, but I've already talked about this multiple times. I'm obviously far from a casual with this stuff, so I kind of knew what was going to happen, especially when we saw the trailers and everything. And then episode 2, it kind of just continues that. But there's this one specific sequence in season 2 that has really angered people, which I find really funny for multiple reasons. But it's this one sequence where Garo is sliding down the hill to, go save Terrio from getting bullied. And it looks like they cropped Garo in a PNG and then just manually dragged him down the hill with the cursor. If we compare it to a My Mask sliding down that rock at the end of season 1, you'll see that they actually did try to animate that. They added some friction, some inertia to it, and it was so good that no one even really thought anything of it. Now, if they animated Garo coming down the hill the way that they did in My Mask, would that have saved this? Would it have made people not hate the season the way that they do? Probably not. They for sure would have found another thing to not like. The way that Saitama is leaving the restaurant chasing after Garo, that's kind of jarring too, especially with just the pacing of this season. season because they're cramming in these long manga chapters into these, 20-minute episodes. So they're really trying to hit these beats super fast because they have a quota to fill. By episode 12, there's going to be a lot of story crammed into this season, more so than what we typically see in these anime seasons because they're adapting Shonen Jump chapters, which are like around 19 pages. One Punch Man chapters, especially around this time in the story, are much longer. They don't have to abide by the constrictions of Shonen Jump. They go through their own system on the Tonari website. So some chapters are like 50 pages long. There's going to be one episode in this season that's 120 pages. And of course, I know that the casual audience doesn't care about this or even knows about this or is expected to know about this. Most people don't even really watch the episodes more than once. They're just casual viewers. But those casual viewers have like a lot of influence on people's opinions. So when you see guys like Penguin Zero and Jacksepticeye and all those other people like hating on this season, their fans are going to mirror those sentiments. And since they have so many of those fans, it's going to go viral with other people, and then they're going to see, oh, I see Garo sliding down the hill. This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And it's totally understandable. I get it. It's not Demon Slayer. It's not My Hero, which is crushing it in the final season right now. And it also turns out that this season is getting so much hate that it's just going beyond simply just people watching it and criticizing it that way. They're actually targeting the people working on the season itself. Like the director Shinpei Nagai, he left Twitter because of how much hate he was getting on this. Like he says it is legitimately taking a toll on his mental health. Obviously that's unacceptable, but the rational people watching this video already knew that. The people that are hating on these directors aren't rational. They're either like teenagers or emotionally immature adults, or maybe they're neurodivergent or something. I don't know. But those three groups seem to be the large part of what social media is anyway. So it's not like me or anyone else saying this is going to get through to them. They're not going to be like, oh, you know what? You're right. I was wrong and I was being irrational. I'm going to change now. That's obviously not going to happen. If anything, you're probably just going to double down. Now, let's also address the elephant in the room, which I guess is me. A lot of you peg me as the One Punch Man guy, which to be honest, I haven't really been that guy for quite some time now. I follow many series on this channel, so One Punch Man isn't like my series. All of the series I cover on this channel, One Piece, My Hero, Jujutsu Kaisen, Dragon Ball, those are all my series along with One Punch Man. I just happen to enjoy One Punch Man the most because I think it's the best among all of the popular series. And I've read them all. Keep in mind, read them. I've slaved through these volumes and volumes and pages over the last 7 years. I'm not just some reactor guy who just watches these episodes once and parrots whatever the subs or dubs are saying and then make a funny face every 30 seconds. I'm actually in the trenches reading these freaking chapters every day. And while you guys say that I am the One Punch Man guy, obviously I'm not like the most popular one. Maybe I was at one point in time, but now that all the other channels have really picked up on One Punch Man, they obviously get way more views than me. And that's fine, because they can just pay 6 Indian teenagers to write a script for them on the latest chapter, edit it real fancy, and then make them a really nice thumbnail that vaguely relates to what's happening in the chapter, I guess. And I'm not hating on it. That's fine. They're playing the game and they're playing it well. The only thing that matters on YouTube is click-through rate and view retention. And if you hit those two metrics hard, that's all that matters. So more power to them. They're just playing the game better than me. That's all that it comes down to. And I know some of you say that I'm the best in the world at One Punch Man or whatever, but I'm not saying that that's true because, then I'm a narcissist or whatever. And, even though CM Punk can say that he's the best in the world, and even though I never thought that he was, but no one calls him one. The only thing that matters in this game is views. It doesn't matter if you're the best. It doesn't matter if your content is good. All that matters is if people are watching it. So I just want to put that out there. So that being said, I'm not biased towards One Punch Man. I'm not just going to put up like a false facade or try to say that I'm above criticizing it or something, because obviously I criticize the other series that I follow. Yes, like I said, I do like it more than those series, and that's simply because I think one, the guy who makes One Punch Man is the best mangaka in the world right now, and it's just my opinion. But again, that doesn't mean that I'm just going to turn a blind eye to this season not being good or whatever because I like One Punch Man the most. I haven't really been talking about it in my breakdown videos because the breakdown videos are simply just for the breakdown. I could make follow-up videos just crapping on it and saying, hey, the animation isn't good on this, the pacing isn't good. And it's like, do you want that from me? Because I can do that. And also, that being said, that's another reason why me faking my enjoyment for this season, or saying that it's better than it is, or just turning a blind eye, or not addressing any of the faults of it, wouldn't make sense, right? Because right now, it's way more popular to crap on One Punch Man than it is to praise it. So I would get probably way more views if I just made content criticizing it, right? So it wouldn't make sense for me to be like a delusional sycophant towards it. And also, we're only 2 episodes into the season. A lot of the people watching this video know that the rest of this season is going to be pretty action-packed. And I get it. The casuals aren't supposed to know that. And that's what I'm hoping for, honestly, at this point. I'm hoping that they're saving themselves, saving the budget and the effort for the big fights that are going to happen in this season, which kind of comprises somewhat of a majority of this season. It's going to be like the S-Class taking on the Monster Association. That's like the big selling point of this season. Yes, we're going to have some build up. Yes, it's unfortunate that it's starting at the very beginning of this season. With the way that social media works nowadays, it's like you have to be incredible off the start, because if you're not, then you just suck. And that's it. And I get it. That's just the way that things are. And it goes back to what I was saying. They probably should have anticipated this and crafted the first 2 episodes in a different way and made it more anime exclusive so that it would appeal more to these casuals. And going into that, I'm not really hating on JC's staff or the actual staff of JC's staff. They're just doing their job. They're just doing what they're told to do. It's not like they have control over this. It's more so like the parent companies of One Punch Man. It's not even one, because I think this is out of his hands at this point. I don't want to be like super cynical about this, but we have to look at this through Occam's razor, I suppose, and it's really telling me that they just don't care. That's it. They just don't care. They're just getting One Punch Man Season 3 out because I guess they have to. They reached their deadline and they're finally have to meet it or something. Yeah, that sucks to hear, and a lot of you probably aren't going to like that or probably going to disagree with that, but just look at it. Look at these other random series that you've never heard of that are going to get 1/8 of the viewership of One Punch Man Season 3. They're animated beautifully. There's so much effort put into them and it looks great. But One Punch Man Season 3, there's literally fan animations out there that look better than it. Maybe there's too many cooks in the kitchen. Maybe One and Murata didn't make good deals when they were selling this or shopping it around. Also, it took like 6 years to make this season for some reason. And also, it wasn't dependent on it catching up to the manga or anything, because it's not close to catching up with the manga. We can still have Season 4 in 2 years and it's still not going to catch up to the manga. So I don't really know what's going on, other than literally they just don't care as much as you would think that they do. And to be honest, the end of episode 2, it looked good, at least to me. Maybe I'm being delusional, but it looked fine. It didn't look egregious or anything. It kind of looked better than a lot of the stuff from season 2. You know, when Garo's fighting Royal Ripper, it was fine. But I guess the reputation of it has just been so tarnished at this point that maybe people don't even care to watch the rest of the season. And then once it maybe gets good, too much damage has been done and it won't even be able to save itself at that point. I don't know, but those are my thoughts on it. Hopefully the rest of this season gets better. If it doesn't, then maybe a One Punch Man anime is dead and there won't be a season 4. And if that happens, oh well, there's still going to be the manga, which has many years left in it. It probably has like another 8 to 10 years left, to be honest, maybe even longer than that. But let me know what you think about all this in the comments, guys. If you liked the video, please give it a like and please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day and I'll see you in the next one.